You might ask yourself what makes a person an expert in personal branding, and I kinda like this explanation. They are the people whose names you recognize and every personality you follow and admire in any domain. Even if people you follow, admire, and engage with are not in the same niche as you can always learn from them. So let's take a look at some big shots out there. I will start with the one I like to listen to and who motivates me as well, Gary Vee. Gary Vee is an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and internet personality. He likes to help people fight for their passions. He has humble beginnings, from helping his father in his liquor store, to launching Wine Library TV on YouTube, to publishing books, to co-founding the VaynerMedia, an advertising agency, and so on. Besides his energy, what I like about him is how open and honest he is. So, what can we learn from him? You should always be true to yourself, your passion, and talk about what you know. Don't feel pressure to talk about a trendy topic you know nothing about it. If you are into old Volkswagen cars, like Volkswagen Bus T1, Karmann Ghia Type 14, Golf Mark 1, or the Thing, then talk about that. You will find your peers and they will appreciate your content. Another important tip from Gary would be to always document or recreate. As you most likely already figured this out, you have to put a lot of content out there to be noticed, so you might feel overwhelmed. That's where documenting over creating comes into play. It's your secret ace. You can document your process of becoming an expert in your field. Besides giving you content to write about, it's also valuable for your audience, who can learn from your mistakes or advice. Another example of personal branding will be Marie Forleo. She's an entrepreneur, writer, and unshakable optimist. She as well has humble beginnings and managed to create Marie TV, to publish books as well as world-class online training programs. So what can we learn from a multi-passionate entrepreneur like Marie? She advised us to create our very own brand voice. There is a good chance that someone out there in this vast world is doing something similar to what you're offering. That's why it's important to create your own voice. You can do that by challenging yourself to express the same idea in different ways. By talking about your own experiences instead of research. After all, your experiences are your very own and nobody's else. She also advised us to look outside our industry for inspiration. By looking only at your competition, you are risking of losing your authenticity. If you expand your horizons, you can draw new ideas from other niches, and maybe even end up having a new hobby under the hood. Okay, there are many more people out there who can teach you about personal branding, like Neil Patel, know your niche, create and redesign your own personal site, create a content and social strategy. Or JJ Virgin, don't be afraid to collaborate, or go off script. Or Tony Robbins, embrace your personality, perfect your storytelling, keep up with the flow. Or other big names like Oprah, Beyonce, Gordon Ramsay, Lady Gaga, and so many others. It will be a way too long video if we were to take a look at what they do for their personal branding. But before we move on, I do want us to take a look at another big personality that I like to listen to, Taylor Swift. You may love her, you may hate her, but you cannot deny that she's a big deal in today's world. In 2019, when she received the Women's of the Decade award at Billboard's Women in Music, she talked about her brand and how she had to accommodate and overcorrect to keep up with her critics. She's talking about how important it is to continue to make art, content, and not get discouraged by the negative voices out there. She's also talking about the importance of technology and how it opens new doors and opportunities. A lesson that we can learn from her is the importance of having a well-made social media plan. She is known for dropping clues all over her social media accounts. Some clues are very obscure and only her biggest fans get them. She manages to create anticipation and excitement like this. We can also learn how to care for our community from her. She cares a lot about her fans. She tries her best to interact with them as much as possible, both online and in person. That's how she managed to create such a big community of superfans. She also rewards those superfans with gifts. or secret sessions with herself. And let's not forget about storytelling. She's really good at this. You can see this in her social media posts, in her lyrics, in her videos, and of course in her behind-the-scenes videos. She's basically taking her fans along for the experience of creating that particular song or video. You may be wondering if you could apply those tips when creating your author bio. Here are some ways you could do that. Don't be afraid to show some personality, quirks and all. Talk a bit about your life and how you got to where you are now. Write your author box in the first person, in your own voice, with your own phrases, analogies, metaphors, and experiences. Make it sound like a story. Mention some of your hobbies and passions, in addition to what you do business-wise. Mention what your area of expertise is, your niche. Mention who you are helping and how. Add your social media profiles.